Hello friends, in this class we will study about food powders and premixes. What are different types of powders, how the premixes are prepared, how they are important. In fact, several types of food powders and premixes are available in the market, whether they are used directly for various purposes or even these powders are used as an ingredient in different food formulation and in different food preparations. So, let us study. So, first thing, what is a powder? In fact, they are particulate solid state materials containing distinct particles of sizes ranging from nanometers to millimeters. The bulk powder properties are the combined effects of particle properties. Food products in solid or liquid states are converted to powder form for the ease of use, for the ease of processing, or for the benefit of keeping quality or storability. The powder industries are growing tremendously around the globe, aligned with the growth of the industries that manufacture new products, all right, and powders or premixes, as I told you, that is food powders become the ingredient or raw material for preparation of several products in industry. So they are used. Even various terms are used to indicate the particulate solids in bulk such as powder, granules, flour and dust. So, in this table I have given the terminologies, that is particle size, examples and the characteristics that they have, like for example powder. Their particle size generally ranges between 50 to 200 micrometer. They are fine particles. Examples of this may become milk powder, coffee powder or other colorants, powders, etc. And they are more cohesive and comparatively have high bulk density. The granules are little bit coarser in size. They have the particle size in the range of 200 to 4000 micrometer. Examples of granules are the instant milk, instant coffee, semolina, etc. And they should have, or they have a free flow nature and low bulk density. The flours, their particle size ranges from 100 micrometer to 5000 micrometers, and examples of this category of powders include cereal flours, nut flours, soya flours, etc. And they have irregular shape, larger size and low fluidity. The dust, they may contain particle size somewhere in between 5 to 100 micron, and it may include any powder. The very fines of the powder or the dust, the finer than the desired size, normally fly during processing and handling. So, the methods, various methods are used to prepare different types of prepare and process powders depending upon the raw material or depending upon the characteristics desired in the powder. Different unit operations are used. For the liquid and paste like raw materials, they can be converted into suitable quality powder by using processes like spray drying, freeze drying, drum drying, belt drying, crystallization and so on. And obviously each of these processes, they require a special parameter, a specific unit operation or a special preparatory steps, etc. The solid raw materials, they can be converted into particles or powders of desired functionality, desired characteristics by having appropriate size reduction process such as crushing, grinding, milling, pulverization, etc. or granulation and mixing also may be used to prepare or to get the powder of desired characteristics and desired sizes. So, in general, the properties of the powders, they can be grouped, that is desirable properties or undesirable properties. Like desirable properties, that is one is the fundamental properties of the powders, is the moisture content, shape, surface composition, surface morphology, size and distribution of the particles, internal molecular and microstructure, bulk density, angle of repose, and glass transition and melting characteristics. So these become the fundamental characteristics of the powder, and analyzing, that is to analyze the powder for a specific operation in a specific food products. Many times these characteristics play major role in determining the usability of the powder. Similarly, the functional property like flowability, compressibility, reconstitution properties, etc., again play important role in deciding the usefulness of a particular food powder in a particular food product for a specific purpose. The same, though now at the same time the powders, there may be some defect, etc., if they are not stored properly, if they are not handled properly, even depending upon the materials. So that is like if during from solid material, if the powder are made during grinding and crushing, if too fine particles are made or crushed, so they may become dust. So it may become very fine dust and which may fly. So handling of these fine dust, etc., may be a difficult thing. Even during, if their material are used, hygroscopic material are there, so during this grinding or during this spray drying, etc., processes, the material may absorb moisture, or even during storage they may absorb moisture and they may stick together, they may form cake, etc., caking, specks, etc., means their free flow nature, maybe their handling and other characteristics may be adversely affected. So even their mixing with the other ingredients may be adversely affected. So these are the some of the defective properties. So during handling and storage, care should be taken, and during manufacture, that is, these desirable properties are maintained in the powder. Then, but there are certain issues, there are certain challenges in the preparation of food powders, because most food powders, they are not directly consumed. They are usually mixed with water or other liquids, or even they are mixed with solids to produce either wet or dry formulations like premixes, etc. These formulations, they can be further processed to produce either ready to eat, ready to cook, ready to drink, ready to serve products, etc. So the prevention of contamination with microorganisms or with other undesirable chemical components is a huge issue in the food powder manufacture. That is, even environmental contamination and maintaining the desirable composition and characteristics of the powder is an important issue, and it is a challenge. Other issues while delivering the food powders include the ability to handle and transport ingredient powders, the dust problems, dust, fire and explosion hazards, allergy problems, creation of desirable powder particle properties, and the ability to dissolve these powders when required. Their instantization, their soluble behavior, and other functional properties to maintain these are the important issues and challenges. So next is the food premix. That is, the food premixes comprise of a mixture of processed cereals, pulses, condiments, spices, or other foods in varying composition. Even different food powders, they can be mixed in a proper proportion to get a desired premix of a particular food of desired characteristic. Preparation of various, like premixes are used for the preparation of various dishes conveniently in a very short span of time. The ingredients are first individually maybe roasted or heat treated or given some sort of suitable process, and then treatment, and then they are pulverized. The processed ingredients are then mixed in predetermined proportions as per the formulation and are packed in pouches of different weights, sizes, or in various convenient pouches in convenient form of convenient sizes. In most cases, the ingredients are subjected to instantization treatment. That is, these powders which before mixing or even during mixing and after mixing, they are subjected to instantization treatment so as to improve the functionality, whippability, wettability, or even to reduce the cooking time, to improve the digestibility of the material, or such properties, etc. So different methods which are used for drying or preparation of premix powders may include like drum drying, spray drying, freeze drying, microwave and dielectric drying, spouted bed drying, pneumatic bed drying. So depending upon the raw materials which are used, whether they are farm, etc., the different mixes, etc., one can choose, or sensitivity of the material component, etc., one can choose a suitable type of drying, like it may be a foam bed drying, or belt and tunnel drying, or pneumatic and flash drying, etc. So instantization, let us, because it is an important process in the preparation of food powders as well as in the premixes. Like instantizing, as I told you, is a term that describes various processes that make a powdered product instant. We have in the market instant tea, instant coffee, instant premixes, etc. Instant what? Instant rice, instant noodle. Like the solubility of the material in the water, reconstitution properties is improved, functional properties are improved, they are easily digestible, instant material, and also the cooking time accordingly is reduced. Maybe their water absorption characteristics may be improved. So instant powder is characterized to be prepared quickly and is more soluble. The quality of the instant materials are evaluated by their physical properties such as granule distribution, wettability, dispersion, solubility, and apparent density. It causes an increase of the size of the particle by porous granule formation, or it results in reducing the apparent density of the product. So instantization may, like one example is the agglomeration, maybe one process which may result into the instantization of the material, and in the agglomeration, like in the for making granules of the instant coffee granules or milk powder or granules, etc., the agglomeration process during spray drying takes place, and that is may occur in 3 stages, as you can see here in the zone 1 and zone 2 and zone 3 in the spray dryer chamber. So in the zone 1, weak agglomerates are formed by droplet coalescence and contact between wet droplets and fine particles. Then in zone 2, fine dry particles recirculate before exit so that the sticky and dry particles can collide and form agglomerate. And finally in the zone 3, their formation and stabilization of the agglomerate takes place. So air temperature and velocity of the particle inside the drying chamber are the important steps, important parameters, and they can be manipulated to affect agglomerate structure through or the further granulation. The different agglomerate structures may be onion shape, raspberry, or compact grape, or loose grapes, and so on. And this, as I told you, by having the proper process inside the drying chamber, by having proper conditions of temperature, particle velocity, or etc., one can get a desired structure appearance. Like onion is formed when small droplets of high moisture content with fine particles and spread over surface. That is when small droplets of high moisture contact with fine particles and spread over the surface. Raspberry structure is formed when large droplets of high moisture collide with large amount of fines. These fines adhere to the surface, as you can see here. The fines adhere to the surface, but they do not penetrate the droplet. Grape, formed by the collision of similar quantities of droplets and fine particles. So, higher moisture content droplets result in compact structure and high mechanical strength. The optimum dissolvable powder generally obtained between compact and loose grapes. That is, these have the structure particles obtained between the compact and loose grape. They give the better solubility. So, in addition to that, there are some other means by improving or by getting the instantization of the materials, like use of surface active agents. The typical surface active ingredients such as polysorbates, propylene glycol, lecithin, etc. can be used to improve wettability and to provide instant abilities to fat-rich powders. Lecithin is widely used in dairy industry for instantizing whole milk powders. This surface active agents in combination with agglomeration give excellent instantization of the protein powder. So, apart from this, there are some other various processes such as microwave treatment, irradiation, high pressure or heat treatments, etc. may also be applied. The material may be exposed to this for a proper parameters, etc. So, such like irradiation and heat treatments, etc., they may cause the larger polymers to break down. They may break the polysaccharide linkages, etc., big polymers into smaller polymer, and this the material which have a smaller polymer proportion more, that they become more soluble or they get instantized or moisture absorption characteristics, etc., is improved. So, there are various methods. Now, depending upon the material characteristics, depending upon the requirements and facilities available, one may use which process to be used for the instantization purpose. So, various types of food premixes are available in the market, like gravy mixes, ethnic food premix, instant milkshakes, instant soup premixes, instant drinks, instant tea premix, instant chutneys, tea premixes, coffee premixes, instant cake mixes, etc. So, various starting from that is containing from various raw material like fruits, vegetables, cereals, grains, dairy, etc. So, I will just in the next slide give you a few common type of products, particularly those of Indian origins, etc. Like one is the cereal and legume based premixes. That is, cereal contain water soluble fibers and starch, and thus have been suggested to fulfill the prebiotic concept. Some of the cereal oligosaccharides, etc., they have a prebiotic effect. So, they may be a suitable substance for even probiotics. So, cereal grains are an important source of proteins, carbohydrates, vitamins, minerals and fibers for the people all over the world. So, they represent a cheap way to obtain a rich substrate that sustains the growth of beneficial microorganisms, etc. So, they can be manipulated, and accordingly the large number of cereal based premixes, etc., even are available in the market. We at Khalapur have also worked on the development of the cereal based drink powder and powder premix. Like here in this process we take that is the grains like Bengal gram, maize and ragi, and they are of course after giving the obvious processes, primary process treatments like dehulling, grading, sorting, etc. They are roasted, and these roasted grains are converted using burr mill or other suitable mill, artisan mill. They are grinded into particles or powders of desired sizes, right? And they are finally pass through sieves of 250 micron size. The purpose of this is to have a flour mixture premix. That is, these flours are they are used in the proper proportion. So, it is a flour mix of desired size and uniform particle size distribution. Then finally, these formulation. This is colloidally milled, this is added with water, the milled and converted into a form of paste, then freeze dried. These freeze dried flakes are, and the flakes are ground into this is a beverage powder, and this by that is roasting, grinding, colloid milling and even freeze drying. This results into the instantization and improve the solubility as well as functionality, and you get the grain based beverage premix. Similarly, some other raw material maize and some etc. are used, or even this green gram, that is maize and germinated green gram is used. They are roasted, all right, grinding and sieving. Finally, get in this powder, in sugar powder and soya protein isolate in desired proportion is added, and grain beverage premix is prepared. And this grain beverage premix, obviously, in order to get ready to drink grain beverage, it is mixed with water, potable water, drinking water in 1:3 ratio by weight by volume, and we get ready to drink grain beverage. And as I told earlier, that is these materials, they have good prebiotics, so they become a good substrate for the. So we have worked on that is this grain beverage premix which was made. In fact, it is the surface pasteurized, that is beverage was prepared, beverage was pasteurized, and in this the probiotic bacteria like Lactobacillus plantarum, 10% volume by volume of this RTD beverage was inoculated and finally incubated at 45 degrees Celsius for the fermentation, for the bacteria to grow, and finally the material is freeze dried. We get a probiotic beverage premix, and we have studied details about the stability or survival of the probiotic bacteria in the beverage premix, etc., and gives even a reconstitution. And after the reconstitution of this beverage mix, that is the reconstituted probiotic beverage mix has a good amount, maybe more than 10 to the power 6 or 10 to the power 7 CFU per ml of the per gram. Okay. So it is a good approach. Then in the market, instant cake mixes are available for this. That is the cake premix containing all the ingredients which are normally used for the preparation of cake. They are so in the premix, they take all the ingredients, they are in the required proportion, and by suitable way they are blended and mixed. So only thing is that these premix are purchased, and in the home when the cake are to be prepared, it is added with the required quantity of hot water or lukewarm water. A batter is made and batter is put into the oven for baking. So it reduces the time and the required for purchasing different ingredients and weighing them and having in. So it is a more convenient form. So instant cake mix, similarly instant dosa mix, that is they are available commercially in the markets. The processes have been standardized where the grains normally which are used for making dosa in homes, they are taken, the grains are soaked in water for 6 to 8 hours, ground to thin batter, and then these batters are allowed to ferment for 8 to 14 hours, after which they are dried at 65 degrees Celsius for about 12 to 15 hours and ground coarsely, and after grinding they are further dried in order to facilitate further reducing the size of the particles. So after drying at 3 hours at 60 degrees Celsius, they are ground to fine water and packaged. Similarly, instant kheer mix is another product which is now available. Some of the dairy industries, etc., they are working on this product is available in the market, where that is instant kheer mix powder is a value added convenience product from dairy industry. And kheer is a very, very popular product in India. It is a heat desiccated cereal. Normally rice is used, that is a cereal based sweetened indigenous milk product, and kheer is a rich source of proteins, minerals and other nutrients. It contains good amount of calcium, phosphorus, thiamine, vitamin A, nicotinic acid, riboflavin, etc. So, a process has been reported in the literature to manufacture an instant rice-based kheer mix. It consists of separate drying cum instantization of milk and rice phases of the product, and then dried and instantized milk powder and rice phases. They are uh, packed into bag in bag, a small polythene pouch of the rice being carried in a bigger bag containing the powder. So the mixed pack is metallized. Mix is packed in metallized polyester or LDPE pouches, has a shelf life of maybe 6 months at 37 degrees Celsius. So the reconstitution of kheer mix involves rehydration of instant quick cooking rice in boiling water for 10 minutes, followed by dispersal of the powdered component into the rice water mixture. The reconstituted product could be suitably flavored and enriched with dry fruits, etc. The powdered milk fraction has better flowability and higher bulk density as compared to whole milk powder or skim milk powders. Instant kulfi mix is another popular product available in Indian market. Okay. The mix is formulated from the milk solid nut fat, sucrose and isabgol husk or such other material which provide insoluble fiber into the mix, and this mix is manufactured using spray drying technology. The concentration of solids is adjusted in the mix, and about 25% of the total sugar required in the formulation is added, and the mix is homogenized and heat treated in a tubular heat exchanger followed by spray drying. It is dried in the spray, and after that this dried mix or dried powder is added with the remaining powder sugar, that is 75% of sugar is added to the mix, thoroughly blended for getting a uniform mixture of uniform blend of sugar powder and kulfi mix powder, and then it is packaged. Similarly, powdered eggs, they are prepared. In fact, they are the completely dehydrated egg made by using spray drying technology, and they are made in the similar manner in which the milk powder is made. Only thing is that egg yolk and egg white, they are made into thin slurry, and this slurry is atomized in the spray dryer and the powder is prepared. The process of drying egg so as to make powder exists. That is, it oxidizes the cholesterol, which has been shown to be helpful at reducing aortic atherosclerosis in animal trials, etc. Powder egg have a storage life of even about, they are reported to be stable for about 5 to 10 years when stored without oxygen in a cool environment. So this powder conversion of egg into powder is a very good method, effective method. It also, the powder require less storage energy, less space, easy to handle, easy to use. This can be conveniently used as a protein powder in the food formulation in food product as a different ingredient. There are even several instant soup mixes available in the market. It is these different types of soups powder are designed for fast and simple preparation. Even some soups are homemade and some are mass produced on an industrial scale, and they are treated in various ways to preserve them. A wide variety of types, style and flavors of instant soups exist in international market, including those in India. Commercial instant soups are manufactured in several types. They are usually dehydrated, they may be canned or they may be freeze dried, and the process may be that similar, like different materials in the powdered form are in the liquid form, they are blend, that is with the spices, salts, etc., and then the powdered one may be mixed properly, uniformly, or the liquid one, they may be freeze dried, or they may be dried by other conventional method or advanced method of drying to get the desired characteristics. Some instant soup mixes consist of a packet of dry soup stock. These do not contain water and are prepared by adding water and then heating the product for a short time, or just this dry soup stock, they can be converted into soup by just adding a lukewarm water or hot water into the mix. Instant soup can also be produced in a dry powder form. In fact, many such products are available in the market. A multitude of instant soup varieties, like having flavor of different type, like onion soup, vegetable soup, tomato soup, cream of spinach soup mixes, etc., are available in the market. They are produced commercially, all right, by several companies. So, with this, I thank you very much for your patient listening to this lecture. Thank you.